Welcome to the deep dive. You asked for it, and we listened. Today, we're really digging into marble.
Yeah, going way beyond just, the countertop or the statue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a material we all kind of know, maybe have in our homes, but its story. That
Yeah,
was pretty fascinating.
absolutely. And for this deep dive, we've pulled together a lot of great info. Think of it as the highlight reel for understanding marble.
Right.
We've got stuff from granite suppliers, geology sites like Wikipedia and universities, quarry info, architecture perspectives.
Basically the works.
Yeah, pretty much covering it from all angles.
And our mission today is, well, to make sense of all that for you, we want you to get where marble comes from, what makes it special,
Its look, its feel.
how it's been used for, like, millennia in art and buildings and, maybe some practical tips, too.
Definitely. No geology lectures, just the interesting stuff.
Okay, so let's jump right in. Where does marble even begin? How does it form?
Good question. That's the perfect starting point. So, both granite and marble are natural stones, right? We get them from the earth,
Uh-huh.
quarried out. But how they form is totally different. Granite, that's igneous.
Igneous,
Yeah.
meaning fire, right? Molten rock.
Exactly. Think magma cooling down really slowly, deep underground over millions of years. That gives you granite with those hard minerals like feldspar and quartz. It's got that fiery origin.
Okay, intense heat involved there for sure. But marble sounds different, more like a change.
Precisely. Marble is metamorphic. That means it started as something else, usually a sedimentary rock like limestone or dolomite,
Limestone.
and then it got transformed, changed by incredible heat and pressure, way down deep in the Earth's crust over, again, millions of years.
Like the Earth is a giant pressure cooker.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
It takes those original ingredients, the limestone, and fundamentally changes them into marble. It's called metamorphism.
So what's actually happening to the rock during that metamorphosis?
Well, the key thing is recrystallization. The heat and pressure make the main minerals in the limestone that's mostly calcite, sometimes dolomite, rearrange themselves.
Rearrange how?
They form this dense, interlocking pattern of crystals. Imagine the original tiny bits reforming into bigger, tighter crystals, roughly the same size. It makes the whole rock denser.
Ah, I see. And what about the original look of the limestone?
Yeah.
Like if it had layers?
Those usually get messed up, or completely wiped out, actually. The forces involved are just too intense. They reshape the whole internal structure.
Okay, so what about the cool patterns? The swirls, the veins, all those amazing colors from white to black, even green. Where do they come from?
Ah, that's the fun part. Those are mostly down to impurities that were already in the original limestone.
Impurities. Like what?
Things like bits of clay, silt, sand, maybe some iron oxides or chert. During that intense heat and pressure, these impurities kind of flow and recrystallize along with the calcite.
So they draw the patterns.
Exactly. They create those unique swirls and veins, the striations, like green marble often gets its color from serpentine, which forms if the original limestone was rich in magnesium and had some silica in it.
Wow. So the flaws are actually what make it beautiful and unique.
That's a great way to put it. It's why we value natural stone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Each piece is different. And interestingly, the name marble itself comes from Greek.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, marmaron, meaning crystalline rock or shining stone, may be related to words for sparkling or gleaming. Fits perfectly, doesn't
It
it?
really does. That crystalline structure is key.
Yeah.
Now, going back to granite for a second, you said origin is different, composition too.
Big difference. Granite's mainly feldspar and quartz, super hard minerals.
Right.
Marble, on the other hand, is mostly calcium carbonate. And calcium carbonate is, well, significantly softer.
Softer. Okay, that must make a difference in how they look and feel, and definitely what you can use them for.
Absolutely. Huge implications for durability and use, which we'll definitely get into. That softness means granite might shrug off scratches in a kitchen, but marble needs more care.
Right. Okay, so let's talk visuals. You can usually spot the difference, can't you?
Generally, yeah. I mean, at a quick glance, they're both stone, right? But look closer.
And what do you look for? What are the clues?
Think about how the color is spread out. In granite, you usually see little flecks or grains of different colors scattered pretty evenly throughout.
Okay, speckled.
Yeah, kind of speckled or grainy. But with marble, the color variation shows up as veins, often dramatic, colorful veins that swirl and flow through the stone.
Ah, the veining. That's the classic marble look.
That's the hallmark, yeah.
Yeah.
Caused by those impurities we talked about. It's like natural, abstract art inside the rock.
It really is. Like the earth painted these sweeping lines.
Yeah.
Okay, so formation, composition, look. That all must affect how tough they are. Let's talk strength. Durability.
Super important, especially for homeowners. There's the Mohs hardness scale measures scratch resistance.
Right.
Granite scores pretty high on that, like a 6 or 7, so it resists scratches well, and heat too. That's why it's so popular for kitchen counters, inside or out.
Makes sense. You need something tough for kitchens. So where does marble fall on that scale?
Marble's softer. It's usually between a 3 and a 5 on the Mohs scale.
3 to 5. Okay, that's quite a bit softer.
Yeah, which means it's much more likely to get scratched. Cutting directly on it, dragging things across it. Even a metal knife blade can scratch it, and hot pans can damage it too.
Okay, so maybe not ideal for a heavy-use kitchen countertop then. Where does it shine?
Well, because it's softer, it's generally better suited for places with less traffic, less rough and tumble.
I could think.
Bathroom vanities, maybe fireplace surrounds, decorative accents, places where its beauty is the main thing and it won't get constantly beat up.
But hang on, I've definitely seen amazing marble kitchens in magazines, really high-end ones. Is that just about looks, or are some marbles tougher?
That's a great point. There is a trend, especially in the US, towards using certain types, like Danby marble from Vermont, in kitchens.
Danby. What's special about it?
It apparently has a better water absorption rate, meaning it's less porous and it's a bit harder than classic Italian marbles like Carrara or Calicata.
A bit harder, okay, but still needs care.
Oh, absolutely crucial. Even with Danby, you need diligent maintenance. Regular sealing is non-negotiable if you want to protect it in a kitchen setting.
So beauty comes with a responsibility, basically.
Pretty much, especially in high-use areas.
Okay, and you mentioned porosity, water absorption. That brings us to stains. I'm guessing marble isn't great with spills.
You guessed right. That metamorphic process leaves it more porous than dense granite.
Meaning it soaks things up?
Yeah, it's more vulnerable to absorbing liquids. Things like tomato sauce, red wine, juice, lemon juice, vinegar. If they sit on the surface, they can soak in and leave permanent stains.
Yikes. Red wine on white marble. Nightmare scenario.
Definitely not a good combo if you leave it sitting. Granite, being denser, handles that much better.
How so?
It's highly resistant to stains from most foods and liquids, even acidic ones like vinegar, especially if it's sealed properly and you maintain that seal. So for practicality around spills, granite wins hands down.
Got it. Okay, so we've covered the science, the properties. Let's step back now and talk history. Humans have been using marble for a long time, yeah?
Oh, a very long time. We're talking well over 2,500 years. Ancient Egyptians, Greeks, Romans, they all loved it. For its beauty, sure, but also its strength.
The Greeks especially, seems like.
Yeah,
Parthenon and all that.
absolutely. Greece was huge for marble. Islands like Paros and Naxos provided stone for incredible temples and sculptures. Think Venus de Milo.
Wow.
The skill of those ancient Greek artisans working marble was just amazing. The earliest quarries we know of, 3rd century BC, Paros and Naxos. Marble was just perfect for their style, detailed, lifelike.
And then Italy. Carrara marble. That name is iconic.
Isn't it? From the Apuan Alps in Italy. Pure, white, beautiful stone. It's the marble Michelangelo chose for the David, the Pietà.
Oh, right.
And sculptors and architects still prize it today. That connection to history, the pure look. There's even a special name for the marble workers there, marmisti. Shows how deep the tradition runs.
And there's another famous Italian one, Calicata.
Calicata, yeah.
Yeah.
Also white, but known for its really bold, dramatic veining. It's seen as very luxurious.
Luxurious.
Often used for statement pieces,
Yeah.
Big fireplaces, impressive entryways where those veins can really stand out. It's rarer than Carrara, too, which adds to the cost.
It's neat how these different types have their own identities. You can even find charts comparing Carrara, Calicata, Statuario, their colors, veins, uses.
It really highlights their distinct personalities, and beyond just the types, think about marble's role in art history. The Renaissance.
Michelangelo, Bernini.
Exactly. It was the medium for expressing spirituality, beauty. And that continues, Modern sculptors like Henry Moore, Isamu Noguchi, they also worked with marble. It's amazing to think Michelangelo might have used marble from the same quarries the Romans used centuries earlier.
Incredible continuity.
Yeah.
So it's way more than just a building block. It's a canvas, an enduring artistic medium. But it has been a crucial building material too, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Architecturally, it's been huge. It's strong enough to be used structurally, load-bearing,
Right.
but also beautiful enough for decorative finishes. Think floors, columns, wall cladding, facades, countertops. It adds this sense of timeless grandeur.
And there's so many famous buildings made with it. Leaning Tower of Pisa,
The Taj Mahal,
Washington Monument.
the Pantheon in Rome, the Parthenon in Athens.
It's an incredible list. Each one tells a story, and marble is a key part of it, either structurally or aesthetically.
Totally. It just shows how versatile and appealing marble has been across cultures and centuries. And even today, in homes, it's still used everywhere. Kitchens, like we said, with care.
Bathrooms.
Yeah, bathroom vanities look great in marble. Living room floors, if you want elegance, though, again, scratches. Fireplace surrounds are classic, even outdoors, though that needs more upkeep.
So it's truly global, truly historic. Let's zoom in on where it actually comes from. Are there specific hotspots for marble quarrying?
Definitely. Marble isn't everywhere, but it's found in lots of places. Italy, especially Carrara, is famous for white marble, obviously.
Uh-huh.
Greece has an incredibly long history and tons of quarries. Thessaly, Macedonia, the Peloponnese Islands.
Turkey, too? Or...
Turkey's a major player, yeah. Spain, China, even the U.S. has significant quarries. Vermont marble, for instance, was used in the Supreme Court building, the Lincoln Memorial.
Wow. But Greece seems particularly known for those white and light-colored marbles.
It really is. Greece has, like, over 265 registered quarries, and they probably have the widest variety of white and light marbles in the world, many considered top quality.
That many? Yeah. And apparently something like 80% of their marble exports come from just one region, Eastern Macedonia, areas around Kavala, Drama, and the island of Thasos.
That's a huge concentration. And those Greek quarries, they have histories stretching way back.
Oh, yeah. We mentioned Paros and Naxos started back in the 3rd century BC. Pentelic marble from near Athens, used for the Acropolis, got popular a bit later. Some of those ancient sites are actually still active, or at least historically significant.
Can you give us a few examples? What makes some of these Greek quarries famous?
Sure. Thasos is known for brilliant white marble, almost like crystal. There's evidence of ancient quarrying there, too.
Okay.
Penteli Dionysos, New Athens, that's where the Parthenon's marble came from. Pentelicon marble, prized for purity, a kind of subtle transparency.
Transparency.
Then there's Valakas in the Drama region, famous for top-quality white marble, really big internationally. Drama itself is a huge area for white marble.
Right.
Paros had unique underground quarries, producing lignite marble, known for being exceptionally translucent. Naxos has the ancient Apollo quarry, still producing beautiful, shimmering white Naxos crystalline.
Amazing name.
And Pergon, also in Drama, is apparently one of the biggest white marble quarries in Europe. So yeah, Greece has this incredible depth and variety.
It's mind-boggling to think of the history in those stones. Quarried for centuries, still shaping things today. Okay, let's focus on one art form that's just inseparable from marble.
Yeah.
Sculpture.
Absolutely. Marble's been the go-to for monumental sculpture since ancient times. And it's not just because it looks nice. It has specific qualities perfect for carving.
Like what makes a sculptor pick marble?
Well, one key thing is how it handles light. The calcite crystals let light penetrate just a little bit below the surface before reflecting it back out.
Okay.
That gives it this soft glow, kind of waxy look that's amazing for representing skin. It brings a lifelike quality. Generally, sculptors prefer pure white marbles for this. Colored ones are more for architecture.
And it has to be workable, but also last, right?
Exactly. Being mostly calcite, it's relatively soft on the Mohs scale, around a 3, so easier to carve than granite.
Easier to shape.
But still durable enough to last for centuries. Though it does have weaknesses. Acid rain is bad for it. Salt water, too, over time.
We mentioned Pagarian and Carrara earlier as famous sculpture marbles.
Yeah, historically huge. Pisian from Greece in ancient times, Pentelic for the Parthenon sculptures, and of course, Carrara Michelangelo's choice.
So what are the main pros and cons for a sculptor working with marble?
Okay, pros. That translucency, mimicking skin. Also, when it's freshly quarried, it's softer, easier to work. It actually hardens a bit when exposed to air.
Interesting.
Its fine grain lets you carve really intricate details, much better than coarser stones like limestone. And it holds up reasonably well to weather, usually.
And the downsides?
Well, it can absorb oils from skin, so handling can stain it over time. It's vulnerable to acids. Like we said, acid rain is a real problem for outdoor sculptures. And compared to, say, bronze, it's inflexible, can fracture easily.
So breakage is a risk.
Yeah, sculptors often have to design supports or leave parts thicker than they might want just to prevent breaks.
Tricky balance. Can you give us a quick rundown of how a sculptor actually carves it, the process?
It usually starts with roughing out, basically, knocking off the big chunks you don't need, using tools like a point chisel, maybe a pitching tool with a mallet.
Getting the basic shape.
Right.
Yeah.
Then refining the form, using things like tooth chisels, claw chisels to start adding more defined shapes and textures.
Okay.
After that, rasps and rifflers come in. They're like files for stone to smooth things out, work on the finer details.
And then polishing.
Yep, the final step. Using progressively finer abrasives like sandpaper, maybe emery paper. Sometimes tin oxide is used right at the end to get that really high polish, that luster.
Sounds painstaking.
Oh,
Is it all still done by hand?
a lot of it is, but technology's creeping in. Some contemporary sculptors use robotic carving now, maybe for the roughing out stages. Often they blend it with hand finishing, though.
Fascinating. Robots carving marble. Okay, shifting gears a bit, we have to talk environment. Quarrying any natural resource has an impact, right? What about marble?
Yeah, that's a really important point. The scale of quarrying is massive, and one pretty sobering fact is that waste material, the stuff that doesn't become usable slabs or blocks, can be more than half of everything extracted.
More than half is waste. Wow.
Yeah, it's a huge amount. Creates big piles of waste rock, potential dust issues. It's a significant environmental concern. Plus, the energy used in quarrying, cutting, transport, and the impact on the local landscape and ecosystems.
That's a lot of waste. Is the industry doing anything about it? Trying to be more sustainable?
There are efforts, thankfully, some interesting developments. One thing is using the marble sludge, the
Right.
fine powder mixed with water from cutting as a sealer in things like water-based paints.
Really? How did that help?
Apparently, it can improve the paint's brightness and how well it covers, and it can replace some more expensive pigments. Plus, it keeps that sludge out of landfills.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Recycling the waste.
Exactly. Finding ways to use the waste is key. Moving towards a more circular approach, reducing landfill, minimizing pollution, it's a positive direction.
Definitely good to hear. Okay, last big topic.
Well,
For people who have marble at home or are thinking about it, what's the key advice for looking after it, care and preservation?
right. Because it's softer and more porous, you do need to be careful. Diligent, consistent care is key.
So, rule number 1.
Protect it from scratches. Sand, grit, dust dragged across the surface, that's bad. Sweep or vacuum floors regularly.
Okay, keep it clean. What about spills?
Avoid contact with anything acidic. Lemon juice, vinegar, wine, even some sodas. They can etch the surface, leave a dull spot. Alcohol and heavily colored liquids are risky for staining too. Wipe up spills immediately.
Immediately. Got it. And for cleaning, what should you use?
Gentle is the way to go. For floors, vacuuming or maybe steam cleaning works. For surfaces like countertops, use a mild pH-neutral soap, nothing abrasive. And use a soft cloth, not a scrub brush.
pH neutral. Important. And sealing. You mentioned sealing earlier.
Crucial, especially for countertops or bathroom vanities. Sealing helps reduce that porosity, makes it harder for stains or etches to happen. It needs to be redone periodically.
How do you know when?
There's a simple test. Put a few drops of water on the surface. If they beat up nicely, the seal's probably still good. If the water darkens the marble or soaks in quickly, it's time to reseal.
Ah, okay, the water bead test. Good tip. So, a bit of extra TLC goes a long way.
Definitely. It preserves that timeless beauty.
Well, this has been quite the journey into marble. We've covered a lot of ground.
We really have. From its metamorphic birth deep underground.
To its unique look, the veins, the colors.
Its pros and cons compared to granite, durability, porosity.
Its incredible history in art and architecture, all those iconic uses.
Where it comes from around the world, the stories of the quarries.
And touching on environmental aspects and how to care for it.
Yeah, a pretty comprehensive look.
It really is amazing to think about this stone, formed under all that pressure and heat for millions of years, and it ends up as something so beautiful, so enduring. It kind of makes you think, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, considering that transformation marble undergoes, does its beauty and strength, born from pressure, resonate with, the pressures and changes we face in our own lives, our own creations? Is there something we can learn from this shining stone about resilience, about the impact of time?
That's a really profound thought to end on. Definitely something to ponder.
Food for thought.
Absolutely. And hopefully this deep dive has sparked some interest for our listeners to explore further, maybe the geology, maybe the sculpture history, maybe just how to best polish their own marble sink.
Whatever caught your ear. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive.